don't even know how pretty you are, do you?
Mr. Krabs, start digging in your butt tray.
So as you guys already know from the title, Nick Harris has been arrested, and today I'm going to be going over everything that led up to this arrest. So Nick Harris was arrested on July 14th, 2025, so a few days ago. Nick's current charges are burglary and resisting arrest without assault. On the night of July 14th, Nick went live a bunch of times, but it only took the first live to concern a lot of people, because this live was very cryptic and not that long, and you couldn't really tell what was going on in it.
It's locked. Okay.
You could try and say go crap. I'm not sure they'll understand. Right here on from the Whistle 100 to a law firm.
So I actually do have the backstory behind this live. This would be Nick's first of many lives tonight, and in this specific live, he was actually in an Uber on the way to his grandmother's house. And the reason Nick was acting the way he was on this live was this night Nick actually relapsed. So he's kind of in some kind of psychotic state right now. The reason why Nick was in an Uber and on the way to his grandmother's house in the first place was because he wasn't in the right state of mind, and I'm assuming he doesn't really have a place to stay right now. And I'm pretty sure he was also trying to keep his distance from M and didn't really want to go back to where she was. Even though Nick was going to his grandmother's house, things quickly took a turn for the worst, because the next time Nick would go live after ending his original live in the Uber, he was at his grandmother's house, but he was breaking in through a window. So it's kind of hard to tell what's happening in this live again, but you can clearly hear Nick messing with things, and you can even see him messing with a chair for some reason. I think Nick possibly could have been looking for keys to get into the house that were hidden somewhere or something like that, because I don't see any other reason why he would be looking through a chair. And then after Nick gives up on that, that's when you see him go to the window and try to open it repeatedly. You don't see Nick actually gain entry to the home in this live because it paused, I'm pretty sure. But Nick got arrested for a reason, because he did end up getting into his grandmother's house through the window. And after this is when you could really start to tell that Nick was not sober and not in the right of mind at all. Because once Nick finally entered the home through the window, the first thing he decided to do was open his grandmother's fridge and try to build a fort for the night. He did this by grabbing literally everything he could out of the fridge and trying to stack it up and make walls, and he also tried to use the fridge door as a wall too. So he figured he was just gonna stay there for the night in his nice little fridge fort and then head home the next day. Like, what? Nick did end up somehow staying overnight at his grandmother's, but the next morning, cops would show up at the house. And according to M, Nick was refusing to come out of the house, so the police had to gas him out of the basement. Nick obviously was forced to come out of the basement after that, and that's what led to Nick Harris's official arrest on July 14th, 2025. It didn't take long after Nick's arrest for him to start emailing and calling people. The first person Nick would email is his very trusted friend, Wyatt. If this guy looks familiar to you, I'm pretty sure a few years ago he got involved with the Island Boys and was just a clone of them. Yeah, that's it. The email Nick sent read, "Bro, you're the realest person I know. I'm gonna bless you and anyone who supports me through this. Keep 75 of it, bro. Put a little something on my books and tell anyone who cares I love them and will respond. To anyone, McDaniel Food Supply is where to send commissary and care packages. I need a lawyer. This is the scariest charge of my life. I vowed to stay off hard drugs and change my life after I beat my charges. I love you, TikTok. I love you, M, L, and W. Bro, you're so real. Tell Courtney I said thank you. We will conquer this together, chat. Big love, big love. I would never hurt my grandma. My life was in danger." I honestly don't know what Nick means by his life was in danger, but he was literally tweaking that night, so I can only imagine why he says that. Not long after emailing Wyatt, Nick would call him from jail. And to nobody's surprise, Nick is already getting himself into things in jail. In the live, they talk about how Nick made a deal with another inmate, and now Wyatt has to put $50 on his books because Nick got himself into a deal that he can't get himself out of. Like, what would Nick actually have done if Wyatt didn't help him?
Alright, Nick, I got you. It's fine. We're gonna get that Cash App sent.
I love you, dude.
Alright, bro, I hear you. Just don't cry. Hold it together. I don't want you getting a fight in there or anything. You gotta hold it together. Just listen. Okay? We're gonna get that Cash App sent. It's gonna take a second. We gotta find someone that we trust. And I gotta send them $50 on Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. I just gotta make it happen. Give it some time. Relax. Okay? Alright.
I apologize, dude. I'm not money hungry. And
Listen.
I'm very grateful for the help that I have. I made a deal with somebody, and I shouldn't have made a move until I had the Cash App ready.
Didn't Doug send you $500? Why can't I just put money on the dude's books? Why can't you give me his booking number and I just put 50 on his books?
Can you do that?
There you go. Look, why do I have to use my brain and then still get shit on for it, bro? I mean, you did say sorry,
You're
but yes.
dude, I will do anything for you when I get out. You're the most loyal friend I have, Wyatt. I'm going to do anything for you, bro.
To be honest, since Nick has been to jail so many times, it surprises me that he doesn't know about the one thing you shouldn't do in jail, and that's making a deal with somebody. Especially when you know you don't have the money ready to give the person. Nick was just asking to get into a fight. I honestly can't believe how stupid he is. After all of this went down and Nick was arrested, M, which is Nick's girlfriend, hopped on live with another one of Nick's friends and talked about the arrest. M obviously has a lot more information than I do, so some of the explaining she does is probably better than what I can do. So I'm going to play some clips from that live where M was explaining Nick's arrest.
I think, you know, between me and you, even if it's not between me and you, the Reddit page is not going to let this die, and he's going to do some time, dude.
That's what I said, regardless of how it's looked at. But, like, here's what I'm telling you, like, is it his grandma's house he went to?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So he went back to his grandma's house because he was scared as hell that you were going to try to set him up. He already said that to me. I get it. He was in, like, a paranoia, whatever. He ran, went to the house. Obviously, he's not allowed to be there. That causes that burglary charge to be a burglary, right? Because I've obviously had that, and I am.
But then it's first degree because he already has previous burglary charges with her.
Right. It's not even about that. It's just the fact that he's in there and committed a crime while inside. So even if he broke anything, it could have optimized it.
Yeah, there was no destruction of anything. The grandma is just fed up.
She's fed up. I get it.
He just went ahead and pressed charges.
I had that happen to me, except I did a lot worse. I was able to do that. So I'm telling you, like, and I said it to the chat as well, like, this is the end of the Nick Harris saga for whatever they may think, like, all this is over with.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to explain it to anybody else, but this is it. This is it. Like,
this is it, Chuck. I promise this is it. These are a lot of charges. They even found out the warrants out of state. They found all that. They're talking about extraditing him. He's gonna do some time.
So as you could hear, M said that Nick has warrants outside of the state, and I did a little bit of digging and found out that Nick actually had 3 warrants outside of the state. So like M said, Nick is gonna be doing some decent time, and nobody's gonna hear from him for a while other than the jail calls and the emails. This next clip I'm going to be playing, though, has some interesting information in it, where M talks about originally N was being sued by a hospital for accusing one of the doctors there of doing some pretty terrible things. Now M is also getting sued because she knows Nick and speaks to him, I guess. I don't know, just listen for yourself.
Because the lieutenant called me. She called me immediately. I spent like an hour on the phone with her, and I gave her, you know, a good background. And she was like, can you describe how many bags or what color bags? I described it fully. She was like, okay. Like, she just had to make sure that I knew what I was talking about and I was saying who I was.
Right.
And then she was just asked about his background, and she's like, is there anything we need to do? Like, he won't come out. He was in the basement. His grandma's basement. And I was like, all I can ask that you do, I said, he's muscular, he works out, he looks large, but I swear to God, he's harmless.
Right.
I said, please approach him with fucking gentleness. And that's when I sped to Greer, and I was like, please don't do anything. If I can get to him, he'll come out. Like, I am his safety. And his grandma just wouldn't let me come there. So I guess they had to gas him out, and I was in contact with his mom, and they got him, and, you know, now he's locked up. And I just think that all of his past charges, I think that hospital bit might not hold up. And then not only that, check, he's looking at that fucking prison hospital lawsuit for the defamation of accusing that guy of sexually assaulting him, you know, and hell, I've been pulled into it. I literally just got told that I'm legally going to be sued also. And I wasn't even there. Just because I'm in contact, whatever, I'm not worried about that. Because you can't sue a poor person. What the fuck are you going to get out of me? But anyways, but no, I think all this is just going to catch up with him. And it's a felony at this point.
So, in the end of all this, Nick is going to be facing a good amount of time, and you guys most likely won't hear from him for a while, and I probably won't be making any videos on him for a while. for now, I guess it looks like the Nick Harris saga is over. I'll definitely be keeping track of the case, and I'll see how much time Nick is actually getting. And I know the clips in this video were a lot longer than usual, but I felt like it was needed because the amount of information that needed to be explained in this video about Nick's arrest was already done so by M mostly, because it's literally Nick's girlfriend. She's gonna have as much info as possible on it. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for watching.
We did it! Yay! Ellie Sema, we did it!
No DJ Khaled, but we the best. Them chops howling, where you a best. If I catch you, I walking you down.